It's time for their inventive spin, the yellow team.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aline Vargas, and these are my co-presenters, Allison and Anthony. We and the rest of Yellow Team are excited to introduce you to Revolve, a gyroscopic dumbbell to be used by athletes during physical therapy. Revolve activates stabilizing muscles in a unique and stimulating way that engages the mind and body of athletes. Meet Rosalie, who is currently preparing for her first college tennis tournament. During practice, she injures her forearm, and anxiety sets in. How will she get back to playing condition? Advised by friends and loved ones, she schedules an appointment with her athletic trainer. At the office, her athletic trainer, Geneva, diagnoses tennis elbow. Geneva would usually use stretch bands, but has found that athletes tend to get bored, and the areas of the body targeted by these muscles are limited. Luckily, she bought Revolve. At first glance, Revolve looks and feels like a regular 3-pound dumbbell. But the magic sets in once Revolve starts to spin. To use Revolve, Geneva first sets the speed for the device to spin at. The speed controls the amount of force Rosalie feels. Next, Geneva mechanically spins up Revolve by placing it in the base and holding the on button until the LED fully lights up. Next, Geneva has Rosalie do the following exercises. Users have previously likened the experience of using Revolve to that of sticking one's hand out a car window. Rosalie feels a force that opposes her motion, and this unfamiliar force engages her mind and her body. Geneva also has Rosalie work on her core in order to have a more holistic recuperation process. Accustomed to heavier weights, athletes often feel a disconnect to physical therapy exercises that require lighter dumbbells. But by having some sort of instability, Revolve forces these athletes to be deliberate about their motions.
Thank you, Rosalie and Geneva. Inside our case, there are 2 spinning discs. These discs have a property called angular momentum, or momentum of a spinning body. As the user tilts these discs off their axis through exercise movements, their angular momentum changes, which creates a force that the user must resist. Since this is difficult to see, we thought we would show you with a fun physics experiment. Here, trainer Geneva is going to spin up this bike wheel. And as it spins, it has angular momentum, just like our spinning discs. As she tilts the wheel back and forth, this creates a force which causes the stool to spin. Thank you, Geneva. Now, if we imagine these bike wheels scaled down and inserted into our case, we can see that as a user tilts the dumbbell back and forth, they would feel a force similar to what moved the stool. Now, unlike bike wheels, our discs are made of dense brass, connected by an aluminum rod and supported by bearings. As you saw in the demo, to spin up these discs, the user places the dumbbell into the base. This allows a rubber cone to be inserted into the opening at the end of the dumbbell case. Below this rubber cone, the base contains a motor supply bank, a microcontroller, and a motor. As the user inserts the dumbbell into the base, they trigger a limit switch. This allows the user to then control the speed as well as begin the spin-up process using the 2 buttons on the front of the base. And here comes Revolve. Because we are able to spin up our discs externally, we were able to achieve low vibrations as well as a low weight, specifically 3 pounds, which is necessary for rehabilitation exercises. In addition, this takes only 5 seconds to spin up in between exercise sets. Revolve's drive system is variable speed. This means that these discs can spin anywhere from 500 to 5,000 rotations per minute. And given the dimensions of our discs, as well as the speed at which the user does their exercises, this translates to 0.3 to 2 pounds of additional forces felt during these exercises. And finally, in order to keep our device balanced and intuitive to use, we opted to stick with the traditional dumbbell shape, which is familiar to most of our users. And now, here's Anthony to tell you how we plan to get this device into the hands of those users.
Thank you, Allison. We plan to break into the $2.2 billion therapeutic device industry, primarily targeting the 70,000 physical therapists and athletic trainers across the U.S. today, of which 5 athletic trainers and several athletes have already provided positive user feedback. Revolve, both our dumbbell and our base, will be sold for $85. Here's the breakdown. Revolve costs $23 to manufacture at scale and will begin by selling through online physical therapy device resellers at $55, leaving us with a gross margin of $32. We expect a standard Keystone markup of 50%, resulting in a final price tag of $85, a price well within the range of user expected pricing. After about a year of selling through these suppliers, we plan to sell directly from our own website, capturing that entire resale markup as our own, resulting in a generous $62 gross margin per product. With these margins, we expect to see a return on our initial investment of $200K by year 2. To achieve this, we need to reach 8% of our total market user base, which we can comfortably capture because of the unique features offered by Revolve. To reach this point, we plan first to reach out to our personal contacts with physical therapists, athletic trainers, and their athletes in the greater Boston area. Simultaneously, we'll establish our product information website and utilize targeted social media ads to market to our trainers. And once we have an established customer base in the Northeast, we'll transition to the broader market of all physical therapists and athletic trainers across the whole U.S. As our market expands, our plan for growth includes developing a new product line that utilizes our gyroscopic technology, as well as optimizing our current model with added features such as drop resistance and weight variability to offer a more versatile experience. Ultimately, with the plan of becoming a common exercise tool found in any home, but especially for those 40 million avid golfers and tennis players in the U.S. today. Revolve induces forces that activate Rosalie's mind and muscles. And once Revolve starts rolling across the U.S., it will activate the mind and muscles of many more athletes and impart unto them a regained sense of comfort, capability, and confidence. And so to all those athletes, evolve your rehabilitation with Revolve. Thank you.
Yellow, my head is spinning. I knew your presentation would fly, Wheel. You're certainly no dumbbells. Okay, I don't want to stretch band this any further. So let's set our speed, keep up our angular momentum, and revolve the Q&A cycle once more. Yellow, hello! Our first question is from Michael in California. What are the benefits of this design compared to shake weights?
Thanks for the question. Hi, everyone. My name is Matthew, and I will be conducting Yellow Team's Q&A session. And I believe Anthony can answer your question.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking. The original 2010 shake weight was actually a 5-pound fully mechanical device that purportedly activated even more the muscles that were already being activated by that singular prescribed shake weight motion. Now, Revolve, however, is a 3-pound electromechanical device. And yes, it does require an input motion from the user to achieve its intended effect as well. But this motion can actually be achieved from a variety of exercises. And its ultimate intention is to provide an additional force onto the user during these exercises, activating muscles that are otherwise not usually activated. In short, Revolve isn't promising to supplement your everyday dumbbell exercise routine. It's guaranteeing to provide a unique muscle sensation when performing these rehabilitation exercises. Thank you.
Thank you. Here's a question from Miki in New Jersey. How long does it spin until it needs to be reboosted?
That's a great question. I believe Allison can answer that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So it can spin for quite a while, but if we are considering kind of how long it takes to do an exercise, a typical exercise routine takes about 30 seconds to a minute. And within that time frame, we get a spin down of less than 50%. So it can continue to spin for a while, but the amount of spinning that we care about, it lasts for enough time for us. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Margaret from Maryland asks, is this applicable to physical therapy only, or would it be good for a regular workout as well?
That's an excellent question. I think Allison can also answer that.
Yes, thank you. So it can definitely be used for other exercises as well. We looked at targeting specifically physical therapy and athletic training because from our user interviews, we saw that it could really benefit those athletes and those users as they're going through these rehabilitation exercises. But we do believe that athletes and other people who are just looking for more enrichment in their exercise movements or training can also benefit from our device.
Thank you. Jose from Massachusetts questions, is there any risk of injury, any risk of wrist injury using this device?
That's a great question. I believe Garrett should be able to fill you in on that.
Hi, yes, thank you for your question. To be honest, we haven't quantified all possible risks, and that would be something you'd have to go over with your physical therapist. But we don't have any reason to believe it would be any more dangerous than stretch bands or dumbbells. And in the end, it is really meant to help you improve yourself and your recovery. So in the end, it helps. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks, Yellow. I've been trained to feel the force that I need to spin up your team tribute. And then we'll be back in a gyro.